Welcome to the ADP Network webinar on the Future Ready Project website. My name is Jackie, and I will be your operator for today's call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question-and-answer session. Please note that today's conference is being recorded. I will now turn the call over to Ms. Elisa Peltzman. Ms. Peltzman, you may begin.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Elisa Peltzman, and I'm the Vice President for State Policy and Implementation Support of ACHIEVE. As many of you are aware, ACHIEVE strives to foster peer networking among states in the American Diploma Project Network. We look to provide forums to share resources, engage in strategic dialogue about advancing the policy agenda and overcoming challenges. And to that end, we have come together today to host a webinar for you that features the relaunch of the Future Ready Project website. After collecting feedback on and reactions to ACHIEVE's Advocacy Resource Center over the past year, we are proud to present the new and improved Future Ready Project website. Before jumping right in, I'd actually like to pause and take a moment to acknowledge two of my colleagues who are joining us today. First, I'd like to take a moment to welcome Michael Gilligan, ACHIEVE's Vice President for Strategic Initiatives. We are thrilled that Michael has joined our team. He brings more than 25 years of experience in education reform and nonprofit leadership. Most recently, many of you may have worked with Michael when he serves as the Director of Strategic Initiatives and Resource Development at the Hunt Institute. While at ACHIEVE, Michael is focusing on building state coalition support for the Common Core state standards, the Next Generation Science standards, and the broader college and career ready agenda. Michael is a phenomenal resource for all of you, so I encourage you to take advantage of his expertise. I know he'll be in touch, but you should feel free to reach out as well. I'd also like to take a moment to share that after nearly 7 years at ACHIEVE, Kate Losburn-Kramer will be leaving at the end of this week to become the Associate Executive Director at the National Association of State Directors of Career and Technical Education. While it's very hard for us to see her leave, we know she'll bring tremendous leadership to the field, and many of you will still have an opportunity to work with and partner with Kate. We wish her all the best in her transition. This website is only one of many tools, reports, and things that she has done to increase, improve, and enhance the engagement opportunities for states while at ACHIEVE. We have been honored to work with Kate and look forward to working with her as a partner as she takes this next step. Finally, as we transition to the call itself, I'd like to bring your attention to the chat box at the bottom right of the screen. You can see a message from Becca Wittenstein already. Please feel free at any point in time to type in questions you may have. At the end of the session, we'll have a moderated Q&A, but if there's anything you'd either like to share with one of the hosts or with the full group, please don't hesitate to do so. And with that, I think we're ready to begin. Kate, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Alyssa, and thank you for your kind words. And thank you to everybody who has joined us today on our webinar to talk about, as Alyssa said, the new and improved Future Ready Project website, which we hope will be a resource that all of you will go back to time and time again as you're developing and executing your communication strategies in support of the Common Core, in support of the Common Core as well as the broader college party agenda. As you all know, ACHIEVE's mission is to ensure all students graduate academically prepared for college and careers. Effective communications, outreach, and advocacy are critical to the success of the college party agenda, and more specifically to states' ability to successfully adopt, implement, and sustain college party policies. To that end, over the past few years, ACHIEVE has deepened our efforts to support states in their communication strategies. Part of this effort was the launch of the Future Ready website back in 2011, which was our attempt to consolidate all of ACHIEVE's communications tools, advocacy materials, resources, messages, fact sheets in one convenient place, as well as highlight best practices and resources from across the nation. Another part of this strategy, also under the umbrella of Future Ready Project, was to work deeply around communication strategies in 5 states, Florida, Arizona, Indiana, Ohio, and Massachusetts, to really test the tools, the resources with them, and down the line, provide a platform for them to share their own experiences and their own resources built through this project together. So between 2011 and where we are today, we have certainly added more materials, learned a lot from the states, from our own engagement, and realized that while this website had a lot of value, there was a lot more value to be brought to a lot more people. So I'm going to turn over to Becca in a moment, who will talk through some of the innovations, some of the additions that we have brought to this new website that will really, we hope, improve the user experience, improve access, improve the flexibility of the use of the materials over time, and again, be that resource that you go to as your first stop when you are working to develop your communications and advocacy resources. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Becca Wittenstein, who led the effort to refresh and revise the Future Ready website.
Hi, thanks, Kate. I think Kate and Alyssa both set the stage very nicely on what the Future Ready project website has been thus far, and we're very excited to share where the Future Ready project website is going with you today. So the website has evolved into Achieve's Advocacy Resource Center, which is designed to provide research-based communications and advocacy materials to support the sustainability of the college and career ready agenda and its related policies, which includes common standards, college and career ready assessments, rigorous graduation requirements, and advances to state accountability systems. This website represents all of Achieve's communications, outreach, and advocacy resources, and is designed to provide all college and career-ready advocates with information, strategies, messages, and tools needed to effectively make the case for college and career-ready agenda in your state. Throughout the site are customizable resources and fact sheets, and I want to encourage all of you to take the materials you find here and tailor them to best fit your audiences and needs. So, with a fair amount of fanfare and introduction, let's actually dive in and take a look at the new and improved Future Ready website 2.0. So working off the feedback we received from frequent users of the website, we streamlined and decluttered the site a fair bit. The design is sleeker, the layout is hopefully more navigable, and materials are better organized for quick and easy searches to help you find what you need and send you on your way. At first blush, the site can be a little daunting for infrequent or first-time users, so we focused more attention on the home page to how users can best make use of the site. By scrolling over the home page, the home button, or by navigating to the About Future Ready project box, users are directed to a roadmap of what can be found in each subsection of the site, as well as links to navigate to each. We've also included drop-down menus to the navigation bar to help users identify quickly which section of the site holds the information they'll find most useful. For example, you can click through to the Make the Case section and arrive at all the fact sheets and college and career readiness supporting research we house on the site. Or you can scroll over the Make the Case button to see what each subsection holds. So you can find information about college and career readiness in particular. If you need to find warehouses of data, all of that is very easily navigable from just the get-go on the home page. In our redesign, we've added some features and elements that we're really excited about. We have a rotating cast of featured resources we think users will find particularly useful or which touch on topics that are particularly timely. These will be updated fairly frequently, so be sure to check back often for the latest and greatest. We also have added ways for users who come to the site to access information about a hot button issue quickly to find what they're looking for with one click of the mouse. Our trending topics house all the materials and resources from throughout the site on one particular topic, such as making the case for advanced mathematics taking. You can find the links to fact sheets, talking points, mythbusters, brochures, case-making data resources, and a whole host of other external resources on advocating for particular subsectors of the college and career ready agenda in one place. We have 5 of these trending topics, as you can see over on the left, from topics on defending the Common Core, to preparing for the transition to the college and career ready assessment systems. So we have several more on deck, and we urge you to keep checking back for the most recent hot button issues and our resources to help address them. One major addition is the Find Relevant Resources section. It's a brand new, let's actually click through to that. Here we go. Our resources section is a brand new searchable database of advocacy and communications resources, tools, campaigns, and materials developed by Achieve, other national organizations, and state and local organizations. With a growing collection of over 150 resources now, available for parents, educators, businesses, and a variety of other audiences, this database has appropriate materials for any and all college and career-ready case-making. We've made it easier than ever to zero in on exactly the resource you're searching for with 3 different ways to search: by topic, by audience type, or by resource type. All resources in the database have been tagged several ways so they can be found based on a variety of different user needs. So, for example, if you're looking for a video on how to engage or explain the Common Core standards to the business community, it's easier than ever to weed through our resources and find exactly what you need. You can also, let me just clear the decks here, you can also search for materials using only 1 or 2 of these drop-down menus or using the title search bar. This makes searching for state-specific material super easy. For example, if you want to see what's been prepared specifically for audiences in Ohio, simply type the state name in and all materials tagged to Ohio will pop right up. While we have several resources available for some states, many of whom were our original future-ready states, we do have a dearth of materials for others, and we really like to change that. We know what good work is being done in your states, and we're hoping you can share some of the resources and strategies you and other groups have created and used with us. The Future Ready website is meant to be a place where we can feature real and actionable best practices from on the ground in states. And a little later on, we'll show you how you can share these resources with us and, in turn, with college and career-ready advocates working in all states across the country. So for those of you who've been using the Future Ready project website from the beginning, first of all, thank you. And never fear, the sections and materials you've used before have not gone anywhere. They just have shiny new titles. We merged what used to be Future Ready Research and Future Ready Facts into one section called Make the Case to help arm you with the facts and stats to back up your advocacy work. These sections still contain issue-specific fact sheets in PDF and modifiable Word versions for you to alter or include your organization's branding and make work with your agenda as well. We also still have our research database, which we know comes in handy if you're looking for particular polling or survey data on particular subsets of the agenda. So, for example, with almost 100 reports that speak particularly to the agenda, this research section offers a variety of ways to search for the data you need for strong case-making. If you'd like to find a survey with data on how various groups feel about standards, you can select Standards and Survey and narrow down all of these resources into the data that fits your needs particularly. Similarly, we combined the Future Ready Tools and Future Ready Strategies sections into Plan Your Strategies with templates, pre-tested messaging, and other resources for structuring your communications campaigns. We encourage you to explore the resources here for messaging cards with key messages and critical facts, as well as messaging do's and don'ts with good rules of thumb for creating compelling messaging based on communications research commissioned by Achieve, Mythbuster one-pagers that help dispel common misinformation, and much more. We're now pleased to turn the reins over to Erin Hart, Chief Operating Officer of Expect More Arizona, a statewide organization championing college and career readiness for all Arizona students, whose resources we are also proud to feature on the site. Erin has been a frequent user of the site in both its 1.0 and 2.0 iterations, and we really thank her for her participation here today. So I want to make sure that we've unmuted Erin's line.
Can you hear me, Becca?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, everyone. It's my pleasure to join with you today on this call about the Future Ready project site. I'm here because Kate and Becca asked if we would join to share how we've used the site and how tactically, we've put some of this stuff into practice in using some of the resources that are featured on the site to support our messaging on Common Core. So by way of brief background, I'm a part of Expect More Arizona, and we lead a large coalition of partners in Arizona that supports the Common Core standards. Our work is focused on increasing awareness and support for the standards and we did this through communications, outreach, and advocacy efforts. So as a part of our role, we serve as the message developers and catalysts of content for our 42 partners that we work with. So our role is to develop the messages and pull all of the content together, then ask our partners to share it with their networks. So it's been very helpful for us as we've been developing our content to go to the Future Ready Project site for resources and best practices, and to also make sure we're getting that really high quality research-informed content that has really been helping our work as well. So I wanted to share briefly 5 ways that we've used the site to help with our work in case it's helpful for you. Number 1, as we were putting together our communications plan, we used the Future Ready planning tools to help shape our thinking for the critical components we needed to include in our communications plan. So specifically, we used the sample tactical plan, and we used it in order to view the elements in that template that would help inform what elements needed to be included in ours. And so specifically, that document breaks down the key communications by each audience, and then to break it down by setting objectives and key messages for each. So we use that as a foundation to help build our communications plan, and it does include a similar structure. Number 2, we've used, as Becca was just sharing, the do's and don'ts of messaging about Common Core. They were very helpful as we created our initial messaging about the standards. The do's and don'ts provides a data-informed, message-tested platform to build your communications upon. And Achieve's done all the great legwork through their national and state-level polling, so it's a great foundation on which to build from. They've tested these messages, and they know it works and what doesn't and what resonates and what doesn't with each audience. So it's very helpful. And it's a great place to start to help build your messages and your talking points if you haven't done that already. Number 3, a big part of our communications plan has focused on engaging business leaders throughout our state in Arizona, both to leverage their influence as community leaders and as spokespeople for the standards, and also to leverage their large networks of employees that include many parents whom we want to reach with our messages. So a part of our work was that we had to figure out how to message Common Core to business leaders and, change our messaging so that it resonated well with them. There's a number of business leader resources, which you have on your screen, that were very helpful for us as we began that journey, and we're thinking about how do we frame this so that it would resonate specifically with our key business leaders across the state. And so a big thank you to Achieve for these, specifically to Kate for pulling these together, because they've been very helpful in helping form the baseline of our strategy to reach Arizona business leaders. Number 4, recently, as a few other states have as well, but we've been facing some opposition in Arizona on Common Core. We've been flooded by the far right with who's unfortunately been fueled on misinformation about the standards. So as I'm sure you have, we've heard everything from Common Core that it's an Obama initiative to it being a part of Agenda 21 conspiracy to being pro-Muslim and pro-communist, you name it. We've heard it. I'm sure you guys have too in your states. So we've leaned on the Future Ready Project website and on Achieve for their expertise, so that we could have the resources we needed to combat some of these messages that we were hearing, and just make sure that we were selling what the standards were, and to make sure that we could remain confident in the strengths of the standards, and help us know how other states have done this work and how other states have been successful in doing that. So the Common Core defense talking points are really helpful for us, and the myth-busting information were also helpful as we put together our own myths versus facts, and as we began thinking about how do we get in front of these messages. And fifth and final, the state resource section has been another great resource for us, and I'm glad Becca showed it a little bit earlier. That has been a huge asset. I often go in to see what other states are doing and what's been created, so that we can see what are other states using and how are they framing it, how are they messaging it, and what tools are working best in their states. Because certainly we don't need to recreate the wheel and reinvent the wheel if someone else has done it well. So this has been particularly helpful and has been a huge improvement over the first iteration of the site, because we can go in and search for what parent tools have been created, and we can see everything that pops up, which has been a huge asset. So it's been a great reference tool for us to be able to go in and see videos and parent resources and see what can we use and what we need to create on our own. So it's been very, very helpful. So in closing, overall the site has been a great resource for us in a number of different ways. And the new design has made it more effective, easier to use, and it really has been helpful in helping the users like us figure out what we need and to find it even faster. So we're very grateful for the opportunity to use the site and also to share our experience with you guys today. So at this point, I'll turn it back over to Becca and to Kate, and thanks for the opportunity to share.
Thank you so much, Erin. We really appreciate you sharing your experience, both sort of pre and post relaunch, and sort of how you've been able to make the resources on Future Ready really work for you and your organization and in your state. So I'm just going to take a few more minutes to talk about some of the ways that we're hoping to sort of engage a little more broadly with our users in the future, and also to sort of see if we can't help you help us a little bit. Leveraging social media is a really important way to reach new and broader audiences, so we're actually featuring our Twitter account and our Twitter feed more prominently on our homepage. You can see on the lower right-hand side. We encourage you to follow us at The Future Ready, and also catch all the real-time updates to the website, as well as other good resources we come across every day. We're often retweeting from other organizations that have best practices, and also updating everyone on what we found sort of from the ground in state. If you're breaking in to using Twitter for your advocacy work, we suggest following a few hashtag topics to cut through the chatter and get to the real conversations and information around college and career-ready communications. Hashtag CCSS, hashtag Common Core, one word, hashtag EdChat, and hashtag CCR are always buzzing with what's new and working in messaging and communications around the college and career-ready agenda. We're also planning to increase our Future Ready presence in the monthly Achieve newsletter Perspectives with a Future Ready feature that'll be a timely resource and updates on the activity to the site. To help these keep rolling in, we've actually done a little bit of a redesign to our Contact Us page, in which you can actually upload resources yourselves in a variety of file formats, and that would be down here. And also let us know a little something about who you are and where the resources come from and how it's been useful in your messaging efforts with state advocates. Using resources from you and the latest and greatest advocacy we find in the field, the Future Ready website will consistently be updated with resources appropriate for the particular challenges facing the college and career ready agenda as they unfold. With that, I think we should open up the line for any questions that folks have about the website. So, Jackie, if you could cue that up for us, that would be great.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone. If you wish to be removed from the queue, please press the pound sign or the hash key. If you're using a speakerphone, you may need to pick up the handset first before pressing the numbers. Once again, if you have a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone.
And while we're waiting, this is Kate. I just want to reiterate Becca's last point about really wanting this website and the broader set of Achieve communications activities to really be a two-way partnership with all of the states. We certainly keep our eyes open. Everything that crosses through our emails and across Twitter that we see we are posting on the website, but we know there is so much more going on at the state and local level. And great materials being created, great campaigns getting off the ground that we absolutely want to be able to feature and highlight and share and make sure people know about so they can learn from their experiences. So whether it's through the Contact Us, whether it's through directly emailing Becca or Alyssa or Michael with those resources, and we'll continue to move the conversation via Twitter, via our newsletter, via other communication channels through the Achieve communication channels. But again, it really needs to be a two-way partnership for it to be as robust and as effective as it can be.
Once again, if you do have a question, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone phone.
Well, if there aren't any more questions, again, we are certainly available outside of webinar hours via email. But we can give you back about half an hour of your time, and we know you're all very busy. So we thank you very much for participating and joining us today and hearing a little bit more about the Future Ready Project website. So thank you all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes today's conference. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.